Take it away, Mr. Kaluder. Start us off this evening.
Greetings from high atop Michael A. Carroll Stadium on the campus of IUPUI. John Kaluder along with Josh down on the field for the 11 game show presented by Indiana Honda Dealers. Tonight's match, a tough one to swallow. A 1-0 defeat at the hands of Pittsburgh RIVERHOUNDS SC. Always a tough team to work past and get through, and tonight, no difference. One-goal result, the sixth one-goal match between these two squads in their 10 all-time counting Open Cup play, 9 just dating back to the start of the 2018 season. Version of the match recap. Really not a lot of action for either side until the 25th. Wild struck a free kick inside the arc that had Pittsburgh's netminder beat, but it did not beat the right post. Firmly off that and out of danger, leaving the match scoreless until the 30th when Pittsburgh earned a free of their own, which was right around the same time inside the arc, about 19 yards out, where Thomas Williamson struck a chest-level shot, deflected off the last man on the wall, and passed Jordan Farr, who had already been going to his right. The deflection left and inside the right post gave 1-0 advantage. Browns controlling the better of, or at least more of the chances in the first half. Were of equal quality. Farr didn't have much work to do outside on opportunity as far as the first 45. Second half, the flip script got a little pretty much off the bat. Cards shown to Jelani Peters, RIVERHOUNDS defender, in the 52nd minute. Him out of the match in quick succession around the hour marks. Indy 11 would go up a man heading into the final half hour of the match. Unfortunately, while the shots piled up, the crosses piled up, not a lot of chances of real note, despite throwing more numbers forward. Some offensive-minded substitutions by head coach Martin Rennie, all resulting for naught. 85th minute saw an apparent goal go in the net, but unfortunately Manuel Arteaga was correctly deemed offside on the finish inside the area. So unfortunately, not much can come after that. You have to credit A.J. Cochran for keeping this as close as he did. A miscue around midfield left a fairly wide open Indy 11. Albert Dequa took a shot from around the center circle, but fortunately Cochran was in the right place at the right time to deflect that 40 yards off the goal line to keep that out of the net, keep things scoreless heading into stoppage time. But unfortunately, it was for naught, as Indy 11 could not take advantage of the being a man up for a half hour plus down the stretch, falling at home eventually 1-0 to Pittsburgh RIVERHOUNDS SC. We waiting comment from usual defender, but tonight midfielder at Butler University, Jared Timmer. Head coach Martin Rennie here on the post-game show. Let them finish their TV obligations. Heading over to Josh Mason.
Martin's currently, just so you know, John, Martin's currently on air over yonder with Wish TV and WNDY 23. They'll be over here momentarily, but it's when I feel like it's a tale of two halves. I said when you go up, when you feel like we have this tendency when we go a goal down, obviously we're struggling to get back up the pace, get that goal. I feel like when we score first, the game really does change in 11's favor 9 times out of 10. And the opportunity specifically is related to the foul that caused the free kick. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of fans just based on reaction might see this as a suspect. Granted, I've not seen the tape. I can't make a judgment call. I'm really off the call as it relates to the energy of the crowd. Based on that call, I'd be curious to go back and review that later this evening in terms of how that would land. But obviously, if you make the best of your opportunities and you go up, that changes the structure of the game. RT, I recall your point was correct, was offsides, but what do you do in those situations?
I'll say this. I've seen harder fouls go unwhistled, or especially around the area that it was Cochran being to have made contact with a Riverhound striker. Again, just outside the 18-yard box. Pretty much that's probably could have gone uncalled, but it didn't, and Pittsburgh took advantage of that chance. And that's the way so many of these games have played out against Pittsburgh. With both teams ending up on either side of the razor's edge and taking advantage of one key opportunity. And tonight it was Pittsburgh's turn. You saw that go Indy's way twice against the guys last year. I think you saw it go Pittsburgh's way twice the year before. These are teams that are familiar. They played a 1-1 draw in preseason right on this same Carroll Stadium pitch. That too was a game that was, obviously preseason, different circumstances, devoid of many chances. But again, gave a glimpse into what tonight could play out, and I would say it out even stingier than fair did. A little change in Martin Rennie's formation. Well, not formation, but 11 to Jared Timmer, again, who we're waiting here for post-game festivities. Usually playing right back tonight into that deep line midfield car we met, taking the right side of back three alongside Cochran and the returning Neville Shaw. It was great to see Hack back in blue after his 2-game stint in qualifying with Trinidad and Tobago. And so Timmer playing in the spot that has usually been occupied by Gershon Kofi, who got the evening off. Nicky Law playing a more advanced role in midfield. Ioze also back in the 11. Good to see him out here.
Martin is making his way to the dais, just so you're aware that Mr.
Right. Ioze was flanked on the right side by Reese Buckmaster, returning from recent injury to log his first start in a while. So we'll ask Coach Rennie here about some of those changes as he gets ready to hop on the headset here during the Central Indiana Honda Dealers Indy 11 post-game wrap.
Give Coach just one moment as he's signing some young players' gear. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Headphones are good?
Hello, Coach. John Kaluter up in the press box. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Thanks for joining us again. Seemed like a tale of two halves in tonight's match. Kind of talk about how you saw this one unfold in front of you across the duration of the 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think that it was a pretty close half. Really, two things come to my mind when I analysed the first half. One was we had a free kick that hit the post, and they had a free kick that deflected in. And I think that at the moment the team's kind of on that run where it's not quite falling for the team the way you would expect. It's not quite going the way you would like it to. And that was kind of the first half. Second half, I thought we were pressing well. We were getting in their half well. The guys, certainly their effort and their determination was very good. But we couldn't quite get the quality that we needed. I'd like to have seen us get the ball in the box just a little bit more quickly, a little bit better. That might have created some more chances. But, it's kind of been the story really for us is we've been struggling to get going here at Carroll. And that's, a problem because your home games are really, really important. And I think it's definitely something that the team needs to improve on.
Does that simply come with repetition, not just getting new guys familiar to these confines, but getting guys familiar with each other, especially as the rotation's been through this really busy stretch of 5 games in 14 days?
Yeah, it's obviously with any new group of players, repetition's important and time together is important. But frankly, the field is 10 years old roughly, or at least 8, and it's hard to play on. It doesn't really roll properly. The ball bounces very difficult, and that means you can't really play at a fast tempo or get the movement or the quality that you're looking for. And so it's always a little bit frustrating. Just being open about it.
Couple new additions to the 11 tonight as part of the recent rotation. Reese Buckmaster coming back from injury, and Jared Timmer getting pushed up into midfield from his usual right back position. Kind of talk about those changes and what you saw from those two players tonight.
Yeah, I thought that they both did well. I think Timmer did really well in that midfield area. He won a lot of second balls. He passed the ball really well. He's a really good competitor. He's played well really in any position that we've put him in. He's a great addition to the team. And Reese is an excellent player. It was unfortunate that he was out for a couple of weeks when we had all those games in quick succession, because then we couldn't really rotate that position as much as we would like. But he's a fantastic player, and I'm sure he'll go from strength to strength.
All right, that will do for us tonight. Appreciate the time, Martin, and we'll see you Sunday night in Kansas City. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Head coach Martin Rennie joining us on the Central Indiana Honda Dealers postgame show. Talked about, briefly mentioned Sunday night, in 11 back in action on the road for a couple here coming up Sunday at Kansas City. That's 5 p.m. evening time kick. Get those late afternoon, early evening patio drinks ready. Watch the Boys in Blue on ESPN Plus, and then 6 days later, the squad will be back at Lynn Family Stadium on the wrong side of the river in Louisville. Take on City FC, where Indy 11 got his last win about 3.5 weeks ago in enemy territory, breaking the long Lipa FC winless streak of 10 games in that 2-1 comeback victory. See if Indy 11 can't channel some good feelings away from the mic here over the next week and a half before we return home to Carroll Stadium for Independence Night on Saturday, July 3rd. If you're inside, you're near the Indianapolis area, we'll hope to see you here at the mic for that 7 p.m. kickoff, which will be caught on Wish TV for those of you out of the attending area. And then also on Extos Radio, Extos943.com in Spanish via audio, and then ESPN Plus streaming video nationwide. So check the schedule page for viewing information and ticket information for upcoming games. We will have a theme and promotional calendar coming to everyone soon, wrapping that up with some partners, some good stuff coming up, starting IBEW nights, presenting Independence Nights on Saturday, July 3rd here at Carroll Stadium. Josh Mason back on the headset as we await midfielder / Timmer as he finishes up his TV duties.
I said we're waiting for Mr. Timmer. It looks like Jared's over there as of yet. I'm looking to see if I see a player coming across the field. We may miss Jared. It's depending how much time you want to wait on this tonight. I do want to take an opportunity to read some of the comments. Obviously, I understand the level of frustration of our fans are having. And John and I would say that while we work for the club, we are just as much a fan of what we get to do for a living as much as this club. We very much have a passion for it. We desire to see the same things you do as wins. Wins are good for everyone. Wins are marketing is what we like to say in the business, is it's more butts in seats. But in the day, we're passionate about the club, and we feel your frustration. A lot of things are asking about and hear about excuses and results. I mean, I would first tell you that, Coach Martin, as you just heard, but it feels the same way about those opportunities as well. Other things that we're reading too.
I'll say this. Good question from Joseph Vaselli. And I did not get to that, to ask Coach that before I saw that come across the stream, so apologies. But good point about the 8 combined yellow cards in the flow of the game, especially in the half. Listen, Pittsburgh's a veteran team. Pittsburgh's a hard-nosed team.
It's a Bob Lilly team, man. We got to give him credit.
And that's,
Bob Lilly.
This is not downing This is not meant to be negative towards their style of play. They has been a tough physical team who knows how to manage games. I don't think a lot of those were necessarily they weren't horrible yellows. They were borderline oranges or reds. They were just good old garden variety. Professional fouls, the majority of them. Good hard tackles that are going to see yellow more often than not, but nothing more than that. Nothing out of sorts. But yeah, if you're going to play Pittsburgh, expect to ground a little bit. And I think that did, especially after the second yellow was shown. I'm sorry, I forget the player's name. Peters, the right back. You saw that progress, and credit to Pittsburgh for really doing a yeoman's work in ushering that the final half hour. They put numbers behind the ball. They out on a couple opportunities when they saw Indy flooding numbers forward to try to catch on a counter almost a couple times. But they expertly finished that game off, and that's a really coached team to a T. So credit to Pittsburgh for getting points out of that. Also want to give a heads up to our old friend Juan Guerra out in Phoenix. It says, keep your head up, boys. Indy forever. We appreciate you watching, Juan. Greetings. We hope all is well out west for you. And hey, same goes for the lads. Keep their heads up. It's going to be an interesting two matches coming up here on the road at a Sporting Kansas City against two teams. Two of your three wins have won against, defeating Sporting KC here in our second match at home. This month 2-0, which I believe was immediately followed by a win, if I'm not mistaken. Consult the calendar here. Yeah, May 22nd, and then on the road at Louisville, May 29th, a 2-0 and 2-1 win. So these are teams you're going up against. You know you have it in you to defeat them. Two different style of matches in those two wins. About as gritty a win as you ever see down in Louisville back on May 29th. To come from behind with two PKs in the final half hour. One, I believe, in the 89th minute to go ahead and end that streak. So despite going on the road is never easy, this is a team that has shown not only can it go on the road, it's gotten results against the first and third top teams in the Central Division in Birmingham and Louisville. So certainly not going to be as daunting as one might think to go away from Carroll. Perhaps it does the squad some good to 5 days between matches, go out to a little shorter road trip to Kansas City than it is to El Paso. Take it from personal. Someone who's taken many trips.
Mr. Timmer's making his way to the dais.
All right. We'll get to the Butler grad shortly as we continue to look ahead following tonight's 1-0 defeat to Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC.
Here's walking. Former intern and all-around great guy.
Josh. We see you in the camera, but we appreciate it.
1 second.
Hey, Jared. John Kaluter up in the press box. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Thanks for taking the time with us here on the postgame show. Talk a little bit about, first of all, your shift in the lineup tonight, going from your typical right back spot up into the midfield. Just talk a little bit about your previous experience there and how you and Martin kind of came about to that shift up the field.
Yeah, I mean, I've played defensive mid just about my whole life, all through college, and I've really just transitioned to like a center back, right center back, right back role. turning into a professional. So I'm used to it. I knew what to do, and Martin challenged me to win some 50-50s, pick up challenges, just work hard in there. And I tried my best, and it was just a little bit short today. And as a team, we're a little disappointed, but we'll get back into it.
You and the team did put in a dogged shift tonight. Talk a little about how hard it is to play against this Pittsburgh team. You faced them in preseason before tonight. Just talk about the challenges of going against a Bob Lilly coach team that has its shtick down, if you will, of making it hard for teams to get on the front foot and attack.
Yeah, all praise to Pittsburgh. They're a very organized defensive team. Knew what they were doing out in the field. We had a game plan of trying to switch the field and then be able to break them down after a few switches. We had a few good chances. Hit the post with a free kick. We were a little unlucky. So yeah, they're a good team. Really tough to break down. And just moving forward, we'll keep working on it.
And then talk about how the match kind of turns on its head around the hour mark, going a man up. Talk a little about the impetus going forward. Did your role change in trying to find that equalizer at all, or kind of how did that unfold for you in the labs? Yeah,
I mean, whenever a team goes down a man, the other team, it seems like they're on the front foot, typically in their half most of the time. So we were really pushing for that equalizer and even a second one, and it just didn't work out. We were a little unlucky today. Yeah, my role when that happened, I actually moved back, and we tried to put on another attacker, knowing that they didn't have much of a presence, where I needed to win 50-50s or challenge too much in the midfield and try to get more on it defensively and break some lines and get the balls in behind to hopefully get some crosses in and some chances. But yeah, it was a little frustrating.
We'll end with a fan question from Joseph Vaselli. Appreciate it. Martin talked a little bit about the Carroll Stadium pitch. Joseph asked, how hard is possession soccer on the field at the Mike, which has to be one of the fastest in the league?
Yeah, it's a difficult surface, but both teams play on it. So, I mean, there's no excuse. We're both out there competing and have to pass the ball on it. So we have a certain style that we'd like to play. It may be a little bit more difficult on the surface, but in the grand scheme of things, you got to do what you got to do to win the games, and we fell short a little bit today.
All right, really appreciate the time, Jared. We'll watch you Sunday in Kansas City. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Jared Timmer joining us on the post-game show. We'll wrap up here with Mr. Mason.
Thanks, Eric.
With that, Josh, we'll kind of have some parting shots here to finish out the post-game show. Anything, any final word from the field?
I mean, at the end of the day, I said, what we need are butts and seats. July 3rd. It's our next home game. Hopefully by then, maybe we'll see even more capacity by then. We as a fan base and a supporter base have an opportunity to really show this team support. If you're going through tough times, it puts more opportunity for us as fans to be even louder, to fill the seats, bring another friend. That's our job. That's our job as people who work for the club, to find more of you, and your job as supporters to find more of you to help fill these seats. So my challenge to all of you on July 3rd, be here, be present, and let's make sure we're pushing while we're at home to always get 3 points.
And there may be another factor in to bring a friend and have some fun involving some discounted beverages that we're working on with our
That's right.
From Chartwell. So more on that to come, hopefully in the coming days here. But we'll wrap it up with that. For Josh Mason down on the field, John Kaluder, we appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate your thoughts and questions. And we'll do it again July 3rd back here at the mic when we play host. Yes, Birmingham.
Oh, now you're forgetting who we're hosting? It'll be a team in the USL.
I had to consult the schedule, but it's a big one. It's top of the table in the Central Division standings, Birmingham Legion FC. We'll see if they still hold that title when they come in here to the mic in 2.5 weeks' time on July 4th week. Then, again, Sunday's game live on ESPN Plus, 5 o'clock kickoff at Sporting Kansas City 2, followed by Lip FC Chapter 2 in 2020. Saturday, June 26th, a 7:30 p.m. kickoff on the wrong side of the river. That match will be shown also on ESPN Plus, as well as our first road contest on the Wish TV family of networks. I believe that will be Indie TV kickoff again at 7. So for Josh and John, signing off from Carroll State, we appreciate your time. And again, 1-0 defeat by Indy 11. We'll get back at it on Sunday. Appreciate it.
Cheers.